And we welcome you to the program as we get closer to the beginning of college football season. And this is Tuesday, and a major book being released today, one we've had the honor and opportunity to talk about a little bit with the author in the past, but we are delighted to welcome him again to our program on the official release day of head ball coach, Coach Steve Spurrier. Coach, good afternoon, and I know you're used to dealing with the media at media days, but today's a little bit different. You've done books, but certainly this is a very special book for you.
Yeah, Paul, I'm up here in Bristol, ESPN, and trying to promote our book a little bit.
I like that.
People know Paul wrote the foreword, and I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you, Coach.
But yeah, a chance to get back up here and talk to a lot of the ESPN guys and promote the book a little bit and get ready for college football. It's coming, 2 days from now.
Let's talk just for a second, because we have led up to this book, but in doing it, and we talked to Buddy Martin about it, who certainly assisted you. What was this experience like for you to reflect back on not only your entire career, but the last year or two as you made the decision last year to end your coaching career?
Well, Paul, first of all, someone once said, if you don't write your book, someone else will. And I wanted to get my story out, and this is how it happened, and just really let people know how fortunate, blessed I was along the way as a player and then as a coach. You know, they don't have a college for coaches where you go get your degree and then go get a job somewhere. You get into coaching because somebody hires you, and you just have to know somebody. And of course, Doug Dickey gave me my first break at Florida. He got fired. I'm out. It looks like I got a one-year coaching career. And then in first week in January, Pepper Rogers lost his quarterback coach, and I'd known him. He was my backfield coach at Florida. So he hires me up there as quarterback coach. So I'm still alive. And then he got fired, and I'm out again. But I'd met the head coach at Duke that summer, and they were looking for an offensive coordinator. And I went to Duke University and got a job there. And one reason I love Duke so much, they hired me twice when I had no job. So I was really fortunate and blessed all the way along the line, and just want to let people know that.
Well, Coach, I know people are anxious to get it. The book available today, and I thoroughly recommend it. Let me get your thoughts as we open the season. 2 days away, you're the king of Thursday nights at South Carolina. Where will you be Thursday when the Gamecocks take on the Commodores?
Yeah, I'll be able to watch it on TV. Be down in Gainesville. We got a big weekend down there. We got a couple of book signings, and then of course we got the Saturday night game with UMass and so forth. A lot of special activities before the game. For some reason, they wanted to put my name on the stadium next to Florida Field. So we're going to have that dedication, and I think I'll get a chance to talk in front of about 85 to 90,000 people. So looking forward to that event. But yeah, I think South Carolina is going to really do a lot better than some people think this year. I think they've got excellent coaches. Will Muschamp does a super job getting his guys ready to play, and I believe they're going to do pretty well.
Coach, there are so many other aspects of this weekend. You mentioned being in Gainesville later in the week when they honor you by renaming the field. Talk a little bit about what you've seen. Luke Del Rio named the starter. Not a big surprise, but your assessment so far of the Gators.
Okay, Paul. Yeah, a lot of people say, "What's your job down there?" Was an ambassador do or consultant, and that's strictly what I am. I'm sort of an observer. If Coach McElwain asks me a question, I'll give him, here's how we tried to do it, here's how I tried to do this, that, and the other. So I have watched a little practice, and Coach Mack does like to ask me some questions and so forth, so I appreciate that. And he's probably a big reason I am back at Florida. He and Jeremy Foley and the president there, they wanted me to come back in some capacity, so it was neat to still be on a team and have a team to really root for, be involved a little bit with. So I'm really looking forward to that. Luke Del Rio, I think he has shown he's maybe the most consistent of the quarterbacks they have there. But he's got a chance to really be a good player. I've always said those quarterbacks, if they got protection and they got guys open and they can hit them, then they're going to have a big year. So that's what the Gators are working at. Their offense wasn't near as good as their defense last year. But hopefully it's going to be a very good balanced team this year, and hopefully we will start showing that Saturday night.
Coach, you know what it's like to run off streaks against various SEC schools, including Tennessee, but I know we're jumping the gun here a little bit, but on September 24th, the Gators have a chance to win 12 straight against Tennessee. You're from Tennessee. You know the history of this rivalry as well as anyone. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I actually was talking to Butch Jones a little bit last spring when I was in Knoxville for their spring game and so forth. And I told him he used all of his good luck. Those 2 games he beat South Carolina. He beat me a couple times. We had a 2-touchdown lead with 4 minutes to play and managed to lose. But he's had some sort of bad luck against some other teams, and especially Florida. One play last year, the 4th and 17 that Florida scored on, basically determined the Eastern Division winner. So Tennessee's got a good team, and whether or not they can win those close ones early is going to probably determine if they do have that big year that most of all think they're certainly capable of having.
I realize you were there for the spring game, and you see a little bit, but maybe you don't get the total package being a practice. But what is your assessment of Tennessee, the clear favorite by the media at least, to win the SEC East?
Well, again, I just watched their spring game, Paul. I haven't really studied them, but certainly they're capable. Certainly they've been close with everybody they play. I know they've talked about, about 10 or 15 plays where they've been undefeated, something like that. So I think you got to go play the games. Anybody can win, and some teams get stronger and better as the season goes. Others don't do quite as well. So I think we just got to kick it off and see what happens.
Coach, finally, the expectations on the other side. You once joked that the way Nick Saban recruits, you don't see how he ever loses a game. You're not the only one who thinks that way, but they're the favorite, which is, as you've been there before, as the favorite. It's not a great. Why is that a tough place to start the college football season?
Well, Alabama, like you say, they recruit the #1 class just about every year, 6 out of 7 or 8 years, something like that. I'm not sure. But they will have some young guys, and they can get beat. Mississippi's beaten them a couple of times, as we know. And to beat them, though, you gotta really have that exceptionally good day of playing and hope maybe they don't play so well. In 2010, they came to Williams-Brice #1 in the country, and they didn't play their best that day. I think they sort of got to where they threw the ball too much against us, and we played a near perfect offensive game. Stephen Garcia's best game ever, and we beat them 35-21. But now, if we'd played them 5 more times, they might have beat us all 5 times. But that day, that was our day, and everything seemed to go right. So for the other teams to beat Alabama, that's what you got to do. You got to have that exceptionally good game, and maybe they don't have their best that day.
Coach, you mentioned that Saturday night you'll be in Gainesville, obviously, for the dedication and the festivities. You don't seem like a patient guy that sits around and would watch a lot of college football. Do you have a plan for Saturday? I mean, can you sit and watch a football game?
Saturday's going to be a busy day, Paul. We got a book signing at the University Bookstore from about 2 to 4. And then they're actually having a reception for me and a lot of close friends. A lot of old teammates are coming. Even some of my Johnson City buddies are coming down. So that's about a couple hours worth. And then several functions there at the stadium. So I'll be pretty happy when that game's over and I can sort of slip back into oblivion a little bit around Gainesville and try to get back to my ambassador duties.
Well, you're a great ambassador. Coach, we're so happy about the book. The name of the book, again, Head Ball Coach, My Life in Football, Steve Spurrier. And it is a great book, and I know you'll be busy with this, but we really appreciate your time today and look forward to visiting again soon, I hope.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Nice to be on your show.
Thank you very much. Steve Spurrier. He's done it all, and now he's launching a book tour, heading to a bookstore near you.